I still remember the night I was lying on the floor, exhausted, defeated, doubting myself. My body was tired, but the real battle was happening inside my mind. A quiet voice kept whispering, "You are not good enough. You will never make it." In that moment, I realized something powerful. Your greatest enemy is not outside, it lives within you. Talent cannot save you when your mind begins to break. That night, I made a decision that changed my life forever. Either I would let my thoughts destroy me, or I would discipline my mind until nothing in this world could stop me. Today, I will show you the mental discipline that made me unstoppable, and how you can build the same strength inside yourself. Stay with me, this can change how you face every challenge. I won. Your mind decides your limits before your body does. When I was young, many people looked at me and saw weakness. They noticed my slim body, my different fighting style, and my unconventional ideas. Some even laughed and said I would never become strong enough to compete with bigger fighters. At first, these words could have discouraged me, but instead of believing them, I began to study my own mind. I realized something very important. Most people do not fail because their bodies are weak. They fail because their minds give up too quickly. The body is capable of much more than we imagine. It can endure pain, push through exhaustion, and continue moving even when it feels impossible. But the mind often sends negative messages long before the body truly reaches its limit. It whispers, "Stop now. This is too hard. You cannot continue." If you listen to that voice without questioning it, your energy fades, your confidence drops, and your strength disappears faster than you expect. During my training, I learned to challenge that inner voice. When my muscles burned and my breathing became heavy, I reminded myself that discomfort was not the end. It was a signal that I was growing stronger. Instead of escaping pain, I used it as a guide. Pain taught me patience. Fatigue taught me discipline. Each difficult moment became an opportunity to train not just my body, but my willpower. True mental discipline means refusing to surrender when things become uncomfortable. It means continuing your effort even when motivation is low. When you stop negotiating with your weaknesses and start acting with determination, you begin to discover a hidden reserve of strength inside you. This is the moment when your limits start to change. You realize that what once seemed impossible was only a barrier created by fear and doubt. Once your mind becomes stronger, your body naturally follows. 2. Discipline is doing what others avoid. Many people dream about success, but very few are willing to live with discipline. They enjoy the idea of becoming strong, skilled, or respected, yet they hesitate when it is time to do the hard and boring work. Discipline is not always exciting. It often means waking up early, repeating the same practice again and again, and continuing even when no one is watching or appreciating your effort. This is the part most people avoid, and that is exactly why discipline becomes a powerful advantage. In my own journey, I understood that motivation comes and goes like the wind. Some days you feel energetic and ready to conquer the world. Other days you feel tired, distracted, or discouraged. If you only act when you feel motivated, your progress will always be slow and uncertain. Discipline teaches you to act regardless of your mood. It trains your mind to follow purpose instead of emotions. Every training session was not about proving something to others. It was about building a quiet strength within myself. When I practiced kicks, punches, and movements repeatedly, I was not just improving technique, I was creating consistency. Consistency builds confidence. Confidence removes fear. And when fear fades, your performance becomes sharper and more natural. Understand the simple truth. Talent may attract attention, but discipline earns respect. Discipline turns small daily efforts into powerful long-term results. When you develop the habit of doing what others avoid, you slowly separate yourself from the crowd. Over time, people may call you gifted or lucky, but they will not see the silent hours of effort that shaped your strength. This is the real power of mental discipline. 3. Control your thoughts, or they will control you. Most battles in life are not fought with fists or physical strength. They are fought quietly inside the mind. Before you face any opponent in the world, you first face your own thoughts. Fear, doubt, anxiety, and insecurity can weaken you long before any real challenge appears. This is why mental discipline begins with learning how to observe and control what is happening inside your head. When I was training and competing, I often felt pressure. There were moments when my mind tried to distract me with negative questions. What if you fail? What if you are not strong enough? What if others are better than you? These thoughts can feel very real and very powerful. Many people believe whatever their mind tells them, and because of this, they lose confidence before they even try. But I learned that thoughts are not commands. They are only temporary mental events. You have the choice to listen to them or to move beyond them. Mental discipline means creating distance between you and your thoughts. Instead of reacting immediately, you begin to watch them calmly. You notice how fear appears, stays for a while, and then disappears if you do not give it energy. This awareness is like turning on a light in a dark room. Once you see clearly, the things that once scared you lose their power. You realize that the mind can be trained just like the body. With practice, you can replace confusion with clarity and panic with focus. During intense training sessions, when my body felt tired and my mind wanted to quit, I would bring my attention back to the present moment. I focused on my breathing, my movements, and the rhythm of my actions. This helped me stay grounded and prevented my thoughts from pulling me into worry about the future or regret about the past. When your mind stays in the present, your performance becomes sharper and more natural. You stop wasting energy on unnecessary mental noise. Another important part of controlling your thoughts is choosing what you feed your mind daily. If you constantly fill it with negativity, comparison, and fear, your actions will reflect that. But if you train your mind with purpose, discipline, and positive challenges, your inner world becomes stronger. Confidence grows not because life becomes easy, but because you become mentally prepared to face difficulty. Remember this: the strongest individuals are not those who never feel doubt. They are those who do not allow doubt to control their decisions. When you learn to guide your thoughts instead of being guided by them, you unlock a powerful form of freedom. Your focus improves, your emotions become stable, and your actions become more intentional. At that point, external obstacles begin to feel smaller because the real victory mastery over your own mind has already begun. 4. Simplicity creates true power. Many people believe that becoming powerful means learning more techniques, chasing more goals, and filling their lives with constant activity. They think complexity makes them stronger. But in my experience, true strength comes from simplicity. When your mind is crowded with too many ideas, too many plans, and too many distractions, your energy becomes scattered. You may feel busy, but you are not truly progressing. Mental discipline begins when you learn to remove what is unnecessary and focus only on what truly matters. In my journey, I did not try to master every fighting style or impress everyone with complicated movements. Instead, I focused on understanding the essence of combat and the essence of self-mastery. I asked myself simple but powerful questions. What works? What is effective? What helps me grow? By continuously simplifying my approach, I was able to move faster, react more clearly, and perform with greater confidence. A clear mind reacts better than a confused one. Simplicity also means knowing your priorities. Many people waste their time and energy trying to please others or comparing their path with someone else's journey. They chase approval instead of improvement. This creates inner conflict and weakens mental strength. When you discipline your mind, you begin to understand that not every opinion deserves your attention. Not every opportunity deserves your effort. True progress happens when you concentrate your focus on meaningful actions instead of spreading yourself thin. Another important part of simplicity is learning to stay present. When your mind is filled with worries about the future or regrets about the past, your performance suffers. You lose the ability to respond with precision and calmness. During my training and fights, I practice bringing my awareness back to the current moment. Each movement, each breath, and each decision required total presence. This level of mental clarity allowed me to perform naturally without overthinking. Overthinking creates hesitation, and hesitation reduces power. Simplicity does not mean weakness or lack of ambition. It means efficiency. It means using your energy wisely. When you remove distractions from your life, your inner strength begins to grow quietly. You start to feel more confident because your actions become intentional rather than impulsive. Your mind becomes like a sharp blade, not cluttered, not confused, but precise and focused. Remember this: doing more is not always the answer. Sometimes, doing less with full awareness creates greater results. When your thoughts, goals, and actions become simple and aligned, you unlock a deeper level of power. At that point, your movements become smoother, your decisions become faster, and your confidence becomes unshakable. This is the strength that comes from mental discipline and clarity. 5. Adaptability is the ultimate mental strength. Life is unpredictable. No matter how carefully you plan, there will always be moments when things do not go the way you expected. Opportunities may disappear, people may disappoint you, and situations may force you to change direction. Many individuals struggle during these moments because their minds are too rigid. They hold tightly to one idea, one method, or one expectation, and when reality shifts, they feel lost and powerless. Mental discipline teaches you something different. It teaches you how to adapt without losing your purpose. In my own journey, I understood early that fighting was not just about strength or speed. It was about awareness and flexibility. Every opponent is different. Every situation demands a new response. If you become too attached to one style or one way of thinking, you limit your growth. I trained myself to remain open, to learn from every experience, and to adjust my approach whenever necessary. This mindset allowed me to evolve continuously instead of becoming trapped by my own habits. Adaptability begins with accepting change instead of resisting it. Many people waste their energy wishing that circumstances were easier or more comfortable. They complain about obstacles and feel frustrated when plans fail. But mental discipline encourages you to see challenges as information. Each difficulty reveals something important: a weakness that needs improvement, a skill that needs practice, or a direction that needs adjustment. When you adopt this perspective, failure stops feeling like defeat and starts becoming a valuable teacher. Another important aspect of adaptability is emotional control. Sudden changes often create fear, anger, or confusion. If you react impulsively, you make poor decisions and lose focus. But when you train your mind to stay calm, you gain the ability to observe situations clearly. Calmness gives you time to think, to analyze, and to respond wisely. During intense training or real combat, I practiced maintaining inner balance even under pressure. This allowed me to move with precision rather than panic. To be adaptable is also to remain humble. It means understanding that learning never ends. Even after achieving success, you must continue refining yourself. A disciplined mind does not become arrogant or comfortable. It stays curious, alert, and ready to improve. This attitude keeps you growing while others become stagnant. Over time, your ability to adjust becomes one of your greatest strengths. Remember this simple truth: strength is not only about standing firm, sometimes it is about flowing with circumstances. Like water, a disciplined mind can change shape without losing its essence. It can face obstacles without breaking. When you develop adaptability, you stop fearing uncertainty. You begin to trust your ability to handle whatever life presents. This confidence creates resilience, and resilience makes you truly powerful. 6. Self-belief is built through action, not words. Many people talk about confidence as if it is something you can simply think into existence. They repeat positive phrases, imagine success, and hope that belief will magically appear. But real self-belief does not grow from words alone. It grows from action. It grows from the moments when you challenge yourself, face discomfort, and prove through experience that you are capable of more than you once believed. In my own life, confidence was not something I was born with. It was something I built step by step. Every training session, every difficult sparring match, and every obstacle I faced became a test of my commitment. There were days when progress felt slow and frustration was strong. But instead of waiting to feel ready, I chose to act. I understood that courage is not the absence of fear, it is the decision to move forward despite fear. When you take action, even small action, you send a powerful message to your mind. You begin to replace doubt with evidence. Each completed task, each improvement in skill, and each moment of persistence strengthens your inner trust. Over time, this trust turns into confidence that cannot easily be shaken by criticism or temporary failure. You stop seeking approval from others because you know your own effort and dedication. Mental discipline also teaches you patience in building self-belief. Many people expect instant results. When they do not see quick success, they assume they are not talented enough or not meant to achieve greatness. This mindset weakens determination. True confidence develops gradually, like a muscle that becomes stronger with repeated use. The more consistently you act with purpose, the more stable your belief becomes. Another important lesson is that action creates clarity. When you hesitate too much or spend too much time thinking about possibilities, your mind becomes filled with confusion. But when you begin to move, even imperfectly, you start learning what works and what needs improvement. This process reduces fear because uncertainty begins to disappear. You become familiar with challenges instead of being intimidated by them. Remember this: the strongest individuals are not those who wait for perfect conditions. They are those who take responsibility for their growth. They accept mistakes as part of the journey and use them to refine their skills. Through disciplined action, they transform weakness into strength and insecurity into quiet confidence. When your self-belief is supported by consistent effort, it becomes deeply rooted. At that point, external opinions lose their power, and you continue advancing with determination and focus. In life, many people spend their time trying to defeat others. They compete, compare, and constantly look outside themselves for challenges. But the greatest battle is not against another person. The real battle is within. It is the struggle against your own fears, anger, impatience, laziness, and ego. Until you learn to understand and control these inner forces, no external victory will bring lasting strength or peace. When I was growing as a martial artist, I realized that physical techniques alone were not enough. A person can be fast and powerful, yet still lose because their emotions take control. Anger can make your movements reckless. Ego can make you underestimate your opponent. Fear can make you hesitate at the most important moment. This is why mental discipline is essential. It teaches you to observe your emotions instead of being controlled by them. Mastering yourself does not mean suppressing your feelings or pretending they do not exist. It means becoming aware of them and choosing how to respond. For example, when frustration appears, you can either let it disturb your focus or use it as motivation to improve. When criticism comes, you can react defensively or calmly. Learn from what is useful. This ability to respond consciously creates inner stability, and inner stability creates real power. Another important part of self-mastery is consistency in personal growth. Many people work hard for a short time and then become comfortable. They stop pushing their limits and slowly lose their sharpness. A disciplined mind understands that growth is a lifelong process. Every day is an opportunity to refine your character, strengthen your focus, and improve your skills. This mindset keeps you humble and prevents stagnation. Self-mastery also brings freedom from external pressure. When you know who you are and what you stand for, the opinions of others no longer control your direction. You stop living to impress and start living with purpose. This clarity allows you to make decisions with confidence, even when the path is uncertain. Challenges no longer feel like threats. They become chances to test your strength and expand your potential. Remember this simple truth. When you master yourself, you remove the biggest obstacle from your journey. Your mind becomes calm under pressure, your actions become intentional, and your energy becomes focused. At this stage, you are not easily shaken by failure or distracted by success. You continue moving forward with balance and determination. This is what it means to become unstoppable, not because life becomes easy, but because your inner strength becomes greater than any difficulty you face. Now listen carefully. Everything I have shared with you is not only about martial arts, it is about life. Many people spend years trying to improve their talent, their appearance, or their external success, but they ignore the most powerful tool they possess, the mind. A strong mind can turn weakness into strength. A disciplined mind can continue moving forward even when the world seems against you. This is the real secret behind becoming unstoppable. In my journey, I faced doubts, failures, injuries, and criticism. There were moments when giving up would have been easier, but mental discipline taught me to keep going. It taught me to stay focused when others lost direction. It taught me to believe in my growth, even when results were not immediately visible. Over time, this inner strength shaped my destiny more than any natural talent ever could. Understand this clearly. Talent may give you an advantage at the beginning, but it cannot guarantee success. Only those who train their minds with patience, consistency, and courage are able to sustain progress. Mental discipline helps you remain calm during chaos, confident during uncertainty, and determined during struggle. When your mind becomes stable, your actions become powerful. And when your actions are powerful, your life begins to transform. Do not wait for the perfect moment to change yourself. Do not wait for motivation to appear. Start building mental strength today. Challenge your fears. Stay consistent in your efforts. Learn from every setback instead of being defeated by it. Slowly, you will notice that your limits are expanding. Things that once seemed impossible will begin to feel achievable. Remember, the true victory is not over an opponent, it is over your own weaknesses. When you master your thoughts, control your emotions, and commit to growth, you create a version of yourself that cannot be easily shaken. At that point, success is no longer a matter of luck. It becomes a natural result of your mindset. Train your mind, stay disciplined, keep evolving. Because when your inner world becomes strong, nothing outside can stop you.